Hello and welcome to the Tarkis Zone. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be talking about my Himalayan 450. It's a Royal Enfield. Now, I just hit 1,200 miles and I thought that would be a fair time to give a good review, start a review on this bike. I was thinking 500 miles and I thought 1,000. I said, no, let's go a little bit more, really get into the bike. So I think 1,200 miles is fair for me to make some comments, to talk about the bike. Overall, it's been a great experience. I really don't have that much negative to say about this bike. There's a couple things. I'll wait till the end of this video to talk about that. But let's talk about the positives real quick. Positive, the bike is comfortable to ride. Now, my saddle fatigue, or what I would say, how long I can ride before I feel like I got to get off and stretch, is about 70 minutes. So I can be on this bike for 70 minutes straight. And at that point, I'm thinking to myself, it's time to get off, stretch out. And really, it comes down to the seat comfortability. It's comfortable, but after 70 minutes, it just starts to, your buttocks start to feel it. So at the 70-minute mark, I usually pull over, stretch out, or go somewhere, stretch out, get back on the bike and do another 70 minutes. Now, as for the suspension, this suspension is great for me. I haven't felt jarring bumps. I mean, I've been hitting some bumps in the road, some potholes that are in the road. You know, most of my riding so far has been 90% on-road pavement. This is what I've been riding on, but there's potholes in Vermont and I hit those. You can't avoid them. And the experience has not been jarring. So, and I'm 200 pounds, I'm 6'1", so take that into account. So I have it stocked. I didn't adjust any of the shock or any absorber. Basically, this is the stock experience, you know, and it's been riding really well. I can't really complain at all. I did want to talk to you quickly while we're here. As I upgraded to the larger windshield, the vehicle, I wish I brought the other windshield with me so you could see, or maybe I'll do a future video so you can see it, but I believe the other windshield came to about here. This newer extended windshield, again, this is made by Royal Enfield. So Royal Enfield gives you a smaller windshield when you buy the bike. You can upgrade it to this windshield. I did want to say that it keeps the bugs off my jacket, but you'll see here, and again, I'm 6 foot tall, you can see bugs here on my helmet at the top of my shield, and you can see it here. So I'm about to clean this up, but I wanted to let you know that, see, you can see all the bugs here that are splattered up to here, but nothing below. So basically the top portion of my head is still getting hit by the bugs, which is fine. And that is what this extended windshield is doing for me. So it's keeping it off my jacket so I don't have to, you know, hose myself down when I get home. The windshield that came with it, the case was I was getting it in the chest. I was getting the bugs in the chest. And I was like, my whole jacket was just baked with insect garbage and splattered nonsense. So I'm happy that it's just hitting the top of my helmet now, which is easy to clean off. All right, with that said, what else do I want to talk about the bike? The gear, shifting through the gears is smooth. The headlights at night riding is great. You know, it's very bright. You won't be out riding your headlights because they're very bright even at the low beam level. So you can really get into driving at higher speeds. As for higher speeds, I haven't taken this bike over 65 yet. I've been at 65. It seems to accelerate just fine at those speeds. I was told that you can comfortably get it up to 90. I don't know at 200 pounds if I can actually do that, but I would say that this definitely has got some great pickup and go, and it's got the top end pickup and go. Like my other 350 Classic that I featured last year, that 350, you know, its top speed was 60 miles an hour with me on it. This definitely has more horsepower in the game. I mean, granted it's a 450, But they've done something with this design because you're getting a hell of a lot out of that 450 at the top end. Because even when I hit 65 miles an hour the other day, there was a lot left in that bike ready to go. Now, with that said, let's just talk about the gears a little bit. I had been following a couple YouTube channel people reviewing this bike about gear slippage. That is true with this bike. It's got a little gear slippage. What I mean by that is, like, if you go from 5th gear to 6th gear, this is a 6-gear bike, 6-speed bike there. And so the top gear is 6. Sometimes when you roll it into 6, it'll go into 6, and like a second later, it'll drop you right back to 5th. And then the bike goes, it makes that horrible noise that your RPMs are too high, and then you got to throw it back into 6. That takes away a little bit from the experience, but it's nothing you can't work around. It only happens occasionally. It's a little gear slippage. And again, I think that's just par for the course with this bike, because there have been many YouTubers that talked about it, saying, look, my experience is kind of underwhelming because the damn gears keep on slipping down. And it's down gearing. It's like, you're putting it up and then it slips it back down. So that's just one negative that I found with the bike. Again, an easy workaround. As for the gears, because this is a 450, if you're going over 35 miles an hour with this bike, you're going to be in 5th gear. And then if you go into 45 to 50 miles an hour, you're going to be in 6th gear. The other gears before that 5th gear is really just using to get up to speed to get to 5th gear. Because I seldomly ride my bike at 20 miles an hour unless I'm in a zone that does that. So I would never be in gear 2, 3. Because I just feel comfortable that once I get up to the 30 mile an hour mark, 35 mile an hour mark, the bike is kind of squealing at me to get it into 5th gear. Once you're in 5th gear, you're probably going to spend 90% of your time in 5th gear, unless you're trying to push it past the 50, 55 mile an hour mark, and then you'd go up to 6th gear. But gear 1, 2, and 3, 4, you're just slipping through them real quick because you're just getting the bike up to speed. Usually when I take a corner with this bike, I leave it in gear 2. So if I'm taking a right or a left and I'm still moving, I will just drop it down to gear 2 and I'd slide into the 90 turn, if I'm going into a 90-degree turn, and then just go on in 2nd gear until I get up to speed and then fly it through. So a lot of bikes that I had in the past, when you're just trying to make that turn, a right-hand turn into a street, then normally you'd bring it down to 1st gear and then roll into the corner and then fly her back up as you accelerate on the new road you're on. This bike allows you to stay in 2nd gear, easy. It's not screaming at you. I like that about it, so that once I get out of the turn, I can just crank it through 3rd, crank it through 4th, right into 5th. So I'm happy with that. I mean, overall, the experience with this bike has been really good. Let's look at the other side of the bike. I do have some dust on here. This is pollen. I will clean the bike later today. This is the other side of the bike. I would say that overall, with it looking clean, because it's black and it's got a little bit of the chrome here, the dirt doesn't really stand out all that much. I mean, it stands out a little bit on those wheel hubs. I will clean those up later. But overall, it looks clean. I mean, it's, and like I said, I've put 1,200 miles on it. Now, if you've been following my channel, I've only owned the bike maybe a month and a half. So when I bought the bike, it was at 1 mile. So I don't know, I could talk about the saddlebags some more. I would really recommend these hard case saddlebags if you're going to get this bike. If you need storage, there is a lot of storage in these containers. This container has my first aid kit, my trauma kit, and my registration and insurance is in that little Tupperware dish there. And then the other saddlebag, this one's ridiculous. This one has my rescue pager, full fire extinguisher, full battery backup pack. Underneath the fire extinguisher, I got a full raincoat suit, and underneath that I have a sweatshirt. I have a bottle of Windex that fits in here fine, my little rag to wash my helmet when I want to, do-rag if I want that, and then I have this little in this bag, I have a little air pump, portable battery operated air pump in case I have to put air in my tires. But that is a lot of, that is just some crazy space in that one bag. You know, so when I go to get takeout for the family, and I got 2 bags of takeout, what I end up doing is just taking my, let me get this open here. I end up just taking my trauma kit out and bungeeing it here, you know, my first aid trauma kit, and then the entire meal dinner order will fit right into this bag. And then and what's nice is this hard case keeps the food nice and warm. It's well insulated, so can't complain there. All right, well, I went over it. I believe for what I paid for this bike, I think it was the 7,000 mark with all the bells and whistles. That included the bags, the extended windshield, the hand guards, you know, the mirrors. So all that in was 7,000, and I will say all day long, this bike is worth that. It's an amazing bike for that price. And I've put some miles on it in a short period of time, really putting it through its paces. And I would say, hands down, I would recommend this bike to anyone that's new to motorcycling, or even, you know, you've been doing it for a while and just want something speedy, something light. I should have mentioned that. This bike is so light, so when you're moving it around with the engine not go, like you're just moving it with your feet, or you're just trying to angle it to a position when the engine's not running and you're just trying to move it along with just your own human legs, then I would say it's easy to do. It's a very light, comfortable bike that allows you for maneuverability even if it's not under power. All right, well, I want to thank you for joining me, and this has been the Tarkis Zone.